Assalamu alaikum guys, thank you very much for joining me today on the first episode of Ahmed's Angle. For those of you guys who have missed my introduction that I released some few days ago, I've created my channel to try and bring into the mainstream topics that I believe are for a variety of reasons not discussed enough within our community, and I've compiled a list of different episodes, different topics, and I will be releasing them once a week roughly, inshallah. And today I'll be starting with a topic that is close to my heart. It's to do with football. As a young boy growing up in Holland, I've had a passion for football from a very young age, and I've managed to develop my skills. So I went on from my local team in the village where I grew up to a semi-professional team, and then I managed to go into a professional team. And then I thought to myself, let me go online and try and see if there's any professional footballs abroad, whether it be in Holland where I was living at the time, or England, or in other countries. And I struggled somewhat. I couldn't find any really established sort of player who's managed to play in the Premier League of their country for a number of years. I managed at that time to find somewhat young players, one that was playing in Juventus at the time. And I said to myself, what is causing this? What is stopping us as Somalis to become an established football player? Is it something culturally? Is it something else? What is it? And I had a lot of discussions growing up with friends of mine, some of them being Somalis, some of them being not Somali. And the Somali friends of mine would usually say it's to do with racism, and some of them would speak from their own experience. They would say to me, Ahmed, trust me, growing up, I was part of a team myself and I was the best player, and I struggled because of the racism that I was facing. The manager was white, all my teammates were white, and I should have played a lot, I should have played, and the manager would put someone else instead of me on the pitch, and I was on the bench, and I just, I got fed up with it and I left. And I didn't want to completely disregard his experience, because racism is real, it does exist, and I've experienced it myself as well growing up. However, did I really think that racism was a major contributing factor in causing us to not reach the top? I wasn't entirely sure. My non-Somali friends, however, they would have another sort of extreme opinion. They would say it's to do with biology. You guys are just not made for football. You're not good enough. You should focus on athletics or long distance running. And I couldn't disregard that completely, because we are somewhat successful in that field. So I didn't know where to go from here. Was it an either or could it be something else in between? And I've come to the conclusion it's a very complex issue. It's multi-dimensional. I don't think we can identify one particular reason that is making this into a reality. I think it's consists of a lot of different reasons, and that's what I wanted to explore with you guys today. What do you guys think is a main contributing factor to the fact that we are underrepresented in world football? And I've given it some thought, and I thought maybe, could it be, for example, that we as Somalis, we enjoy each other's company to the point that it could be detrimental to our own development? So just imagine, you're a young player growing up with exceptional ability, which is recognized by the whole community from a young age, and everyone wants to be your friend. When there's a football game going on, you're the one that gets picked the first. Everyone wants to be in your team, and that gives you a sense of confidence. And is that really a good thing? Because I believe personally, if you're the best player on the pitch, you need to go somewhere else. You need to explore. You need to test your ability against players that are better. And you'll be struggling, you'll be struggling to begin with. However, if you're consistent, if you put in the hard work and you sacrifice whatever you have to sacrifice, you'll adapt, you'll improve. And if you're really good enough, you'll become the best on that pitch as well. And I think personally, it happens in our community when any given player is given the opportunity or the choice to give it their all in a new experience where they're struggling, or stay within their local community where they're the superstar. It seems to me that, within our community, a lot of players, choose to rather be the superstar within their own community. And that's, I think, detrimental to their own development. And that is in some ways responsible for the fact that we are underrepresented. And I know a lot of you will put forward the argument that we're lacking parental support, which is true. I also believe that, and that is probably a major contributing factor as well. It's always better to have one or two parents, supporting you throughout your journey, watching your training sessions, going to every one of your games. However, we don't have that luxury for a variety of reasons. It's just our reality, and hopefully that will change as second generation parents are coming through now. However, it is important to realize that a lot of ethnic minority communities are facing the same issue and have been facing the same issue for a number of years. However, they've managed to progress and become professional footballers. So there has to be something else that is somewhat unique to our community. So give it some thought. I'm not necessarily saying what I'm saying is right. I could be wrong. And I look forward for you guys to put forward your perspective. And I'll be happy to listen to them, and you could correct my views and educate everyone else in the, at the same time as well. So just to give you guys a bit of statistics, we've got roughly 1 million diaspora Somali people living in either North America, Scandinavia and the UK. And if you look at countries like Togo, Cape Verde, Central African Republic, Cape Verde, for example, has got less than 500,000 citizens. They've been able to produce superstars consistently as well. And I'm sure some of you guys would argue that, you know, a number of these countries have got less resources, less infrastructure than we do. So what is it? Give it some thought. Also, I don't want to end somewhat negative. It's not all doom and gloom. Over the last few years, there have been some developments that are somewhat encouraging. So, for example, a good friend of mine, Mohammed Dakhi's opened an academy recently back home in Somalia, Hilal Sports Club, and he's trying to give, you know, opportunity facilities to the players back home, because don't forget, a player like Sadio Mane, for example, a world-class player, probably one of the best at the moment. He's not grown up in Europe or America or in the West. He grew up back home. He's had to leave his village from where he was in Senegal to go to like a city and join an academy there, and he's been able to, you know, progress all the way to Liverpool now. So could it be that even our next superstar is from Somalia rather than from the West? Also, another major development, the appointment of Abdul Hamid Mohammed Ma'alin, well-respected coach from America, who's been appointed by the Somali Football Federation to coach and manage the national team of Somalia under 17. And I applaud that. It's a very good development for the federation to try and appoint qualified Somali coaches to bring up the young players, so hopefully they can realize their dream in the long term as well. And last but not least, our own national team players. Alhamdulillah, in September, I've met a lot of new players from, you know, different parts of the world, players that I've never heard of before, but exceptionally talented. Some of them very young as well. And I think, or it does seem to me, that there is a shift going on at the minute. There are players coming through, not just in our national team. There are quite a few players as well. Look at Abdi Sharif, who currently plays for Liverpool. Mukhtar Ali, who played for Chelsea and is now in Saudi Arabia. And I believe there's another young player as well that plays in Sweden. So there are some developments ongoing. And I wanted to put to you guys, what do you think first is stopping our development, or what has stopped our development over the years to progressing to the top of world football? And what do you think that we can do as a community to bring up more quality footballers? So I've also asked the national team players, the likes of Asanyo, Mahmoud, Omarani, to record a video of their own to try and discuss this. What do they think are the issues, and what can we do moving forward? Okay, so just a few closing remarks. Thank you very much. This is the first episode, and I appreciate you guys watching this video. You might say this video was specifically targeted to you know, men, and I do apologize if you feel that way, but it's just something I was personally passionate about, and most of the subjects moving forward, if not all, are gender neutral, or whatever you want to call it. I'm sure they will appeal to both men and women. So keep an eye out for episode 2. Thank you very much for watching my episode. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to your engagement. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.